So by now I'm sure we're all more than prepared for Dragon Ball Super 2, and really we're just waiting on some kind of post or announcement, trailer, or anything from Japan to put us at ease. The only question I have besides when is Super coming back is where do we go from here? Today I wanted to bring you guys a video detailing some of my thoughts for the return of Dragon Ball whenever that may be, but me being biased, I have a lot of things that I'd rather see personally than others. One thing that I actually have some confidence in happening, however, is Vegeta having the opportunity to finally surpass Goku, so sit back, enjoy. If you haven't already, be sure to follow me on Twitch and Twitter to stay up to date with all Dragon Ball related content, but without further ado.
I got swords on my back, tell my right back. Ninjas with me, niggas going Starr, cause these bitches eating ramen noodles in the hood with my niggas.
Goku and Vegeta are probably one of, if not the most popular duo in anime. Starting out as bitter enemies, in the beginning of Dragon Ball Z when the Saiyans first touched down on Earth, we would have never imagined Goku and Vegeta's relationship would be at the point it is now. Being presumed the last two full-blooded Saiyans left in existence for quite a while, it seemed like destiny was aligned perfectly to place these two in each other's lives, but their ideals differed so drastically, which is one thing that I feel like keeps these two as rivals. Even though Goku and Vegeta have one of the weirdest relationships I've ever seen, at this point in time they definitely aren't enemies because saving the universe together a handful of times surely does that to a person, but I don't really know if I can call them friends either. While Vegeta always took the utmost pride in his own strength and whatever he could accomplish on his own, Goku was much more face value, as really his only goals have been to get stronger by fighting the strongest warriors and protect the people of Earth. By following this philosophy, Goku has constantly been revered as arguably the strongest fighter in anime, give or take, until somebody stronger in his own show comes along, but eventually he usually does overcome them, seemingly leaving Vegeta constantly in his shadow. What made Goku so strong and always pushed him beyond his limitations no matter who he faced is a question that Vegeta often asked himself many times throughout Dragon Ball. I mean, when Goku and Vegeta first met, I think it's pretty safe to say that Vegeta was a tad bit stronger than Goku, and if it wasn't for other variables that played a big part in the battle, I think Vegeta would have won that. However, ever since then, and even leading up to that point, Goku was on a path to greatness that meant going through his Saiyan counterpart if he needed to. From that moment on, Goku and Vegeta both grew consistently stronger with every battle, whether it be a defeat or not, thanks to being a Saiyan and other variables, but it always seemed like Vegeta got the short end of the stick. I mean, whether it be a fight in the series or a movie, we could always count on Vegeta and or Piccolo making a dope appearance only to get washed in the first few seconds until Goku showed up or powered up. Don't get me wrong though, Vegeta has had plenty of flashy moments and he definitely earns his respect with every battle, but his ceiling is always just beneath Goku's. This is where Dragon Ball Super comes in. One complaint that I always see online, and even kinda just made myself, is how Vegeta always gets the short end of the stick when it comes to competing with Goku, whether it be training, transformations, or even rock, paper, scissors, but in my opinion, Dragon Ball Super did an excellent job of giving Vegeta proper shine at certain points. At the start of Super, or at the end of Z, whichever you want to call it, I feared once again that Vegeta would be left behind as we saw Goku gain powers exponentially larger than anything the Z Fighters had ever encountered before. Powers so mysterious that it's unable to be sensed by mortals. God Ki. When Goku took on Beerus in Dragon Ball Battle of Gods, Vegeta was seething at the sight of Goku obtaining the power of the gods, along with a new transformation more powerful than any form of Super Saiyan they possessed, and he knew that this was something that he had to jump on if he wanted any chance of keeping up with Goku. This willpower, this fire to keep improving and progressing is what ultimately pushed Vegeta to do something he's never done before, which was ask for help from Whis. Now, even though this one scene may not seem like much, I feel like it's a lot deeper than that. Back during the fight with Majin Buu, Vegeta decides to let down his protective barrier inside of Buu, causing him to defuse back into Goku and Vegeta. Seeing that Vegeta already had to swallow his pride in order to even agree to fusion in the first place, when this failed and the two were faced with Kid Buu not long after, Vegeta inevitably broke down after years of chasing Goku and admitted that he is the best and that's all there is to it. You could say that this one moment during the fight with Majin Buu was a huge factor in some of Vegeta's decisions in Super. I mean, I basically took this as him finally cracking, and maybe this was even the first step into it being a little easier for him to ask for help. With his pride set aside, Vegeta seeked the help he needed from Beerus and Whis whilst being able to train alongside Goku at the same time, and this is when the two achieved Super Saiyan Blue. Now, there were points in Super where I feel like Vegeta may actually have been stronger than Goku, i.e. possibly in the Future Trunks arc, but it wasn't until the Tournament of Power where we really got a grasp on how close or how far apart these two were. Prior to the tournament, I can't necessarily say that Vegeta was stronger than Goku thanks to Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, but being pushed to the lengths he never knew he had by God of Destruction Toppo, Vegeta finally did it. He finally achieved his own exclusive transformation called Super Saiyan Blue Evolution. Now, I'm not going to talk about Ultra Instinct because that really is an outlier here, but the Tournament of Power clearly shows Super Saiyan Blue Evolution to be around the same level as Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, and it may have even been stated if I remember correctly, but is a breakthrough like this alone enough to propel Vegeta past Goku in the coming series? Now that their ideals aren't complete opposites and Vegeta harbors something he wishes to protect, I feel like there really isn't much stopping him from surpassing Goku when the time is right. Until Bulma and Trunks, Vegeta relied solely on his own willpower to make him stronger as he trained, but the one thing he was missing, even when working for Frieza, was a purpose. Goku has been a father and a husband since the beginning of Dragon Ball Z, and even in Dragon Ball, his heart was pure, which enabled him to maximize on any sort of training or power-up he obtained. But the one driving factor that I think may make all the difference is family. In Dragon Ball, a powerful stimulant to awakening your inner power is emotional trauma, as we've seen many times before, mostly from Goku and Gohan, but in the Battle of Gods movie, when Beerus lays hands on Bulma, Vegeta absolutely loses it, and according to Master Roshi, Vegeta in his Wrath form was even more powerful than a Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Fishy sounding, yes, but definitely worth noting that this one time we see Vegeta lose it over Bulma, he surpasses at that time Goku's most powerful form while never achieving it himself. So what if this, or something similar, were to be repeated after his power has easily multiplied by trillions since the beginning of Super? This is definitely something that could be really fun to have elaborated on in the second coming of Super, because we know Dragon Ball likes their power creeping, but the tables are literally set at this point for Vegeta to make leaps and bounds with the power of God Ki in his hands, training with Whis, and the pride of being the Prince of all Saiyans, and one day, we may even be calling him Lord Vegeta.